Have you ever looked in the mirror, wearing a color you once loved, and suddenly, it feels like it no longer loves you back? Your favorite white blouse now makes you look pale, that classic black dress feels too harsh, and the soft pastel sweater you adored just doesn't feel right anymore. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And it's not your face, your age, or your style that's failing. It's the colors. In today's video, we'll gently uncover 5 colors that may be silently aging you. And more importantly, I'll show you what to wear instead to feel radiant, soft, and truly seen again. These are not fashion rules. They're quiet discoveries from women just like you, who changed one shade and found their smile again. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might see your reflection differently, maybe even with a little more warmth. Last spring, my friend Elaine, 72, stood in front of her closet before her granddaughter's piano recital. She reached for her go-to outfit, a baby pink cardigan she'd worn for years. But something stopped her. She looked at it, and for the first time, it felt flat, faded, not her. So instead, she tried a rose-colored blouse she'd never worn in public. It was a little deeper, a little richer. And when she walked into the recital hall, her daughter gasped and said, "Mom, you look glowing." Elaine didn't change her makeup. She didn't dye her hair. She just changed the color. And that small shift, it made her feel like herself again. Why color matters. Your skin changes, so should your palette. When we were younger, we could wear just about any color and still look fresh. Bright whites, jet blacks, baby pinks, they all seem to work. But as we age, something subtle but powerful changes. Our skin softens, our natural contrast fades, and the colors we once loved might no longer return the favor. Our skin loses some of the warmth and clarity it once had. Hair turns silver, white, or soft gray, and suddenly that icy white blouse that once lit us up now makes us look tired. That favorite black sweater might seem to draw attention to lines we never noticed before. I remember sitting with a client, Marianne, 66, who was convinced her wardrobe was making her look old. She hadn't changed her clothes in years, but her reflection had. When we held a soft pearl white blouse beside her skin instead of her usual bright white, her face lifted. "I didn't realize color could be this gentle," she whispered. "Colors either drain or give. They either pull light from your face or add it back in. They either sharpen your lines or soften your presence. And after 60, we've earned the right to choose softness over severity." A little reminder I love. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. The same is true with color. Let go of what no longer serves. Make space for hues that love you just as you are now. And now, let's look at one of the most surprising culprits hiding in plain sight, a color many of us think is timeless, but could be quietly aging us. Color mistake number 1, icy white versus ivory. There was a time when a crisp, icy white blouse felt like the height of elegance. Clean, classic, powerful. And for many of us, it stayed in our wardrobe for decades because it felt safe, familiar, almost like a second skin. But then one day, you catch your reflection and wonder, why do I look tired? The blouse hasn't changed, but we have. As we grow older, our skin loses some of its natural warmth and contrast. The brightness of icy white, once flattering, now feels almost too sharp. It bounces harsh light onto our features, deepening shadows, highlighting lines, and washing out the softness we've come to embrace. Especially for women with silver or salt and pepper hair, that stark contrast can feel less elegant and more unyielding. I'll never forget Margaret, a 70-year-old pianist who always wore bright white on stage. But lately, the compliments had faded. People began asking, "Are you feeling okay?" That question stung more than she expected. One day, just for fun, she tried on an ivory blouse, soft, warm, almost candlelit in tone. The transformation was immediate. Her eyes looked brighter, her skin glowed. I didn't realize I'd been hiding behind the wrong white all this time, she told me. That's the quiet power of ivory. It's not louder, it's gentler. It brings out the natural radiance in mature skin. It feels warm, alive, and kind. Want a simple test? Hold an icy white blouse next to your face in natural light, then switch to ivory. Look at your eyes, your cheeks, your smile. Which version of you feels more you? As I often remind myself and others, we don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. That applies to the clothes we wear too, especially the colors we let so close to our skin. Now, if white has long been your signature, don't worry. You don't have to give it up completely. Just shift the shade. Try pearl, warm cream, or soft beige. Add gold jewelry or textured knits to soften the look even more. And speaking of safe colors, we need to have a heart-to-heart about another beloved classic that might be quietly stealing your glow. Color mistake number 2. Matte, black versus deep neutrals. For decades, black was my armor. It was slimming, sophisticated, safe, a go-to for dinners, meetings, even quiet days at home. There's something about matte black that feels like certainty, until one day, it doesn't. You look in the mirror, and instead of elegance, you see something harsher. The lines around your mouth feel deeper, your eyes somehow more shadowed. That soft glow you used to rely on is replaced by a dullness you can't quite place. Here's the quiet truth. Matte black can become too much for our skin as we age. When our natural contrast fades, gray hair, softening features, matte black starts to overpower us instead of complement us. It absorbs light, casts shadows, and brings out things we'd rather soften, like the tiredness under our eyes, the creases beside our lips, the gentle texture of our skin. I remember Patricia, a retired art teacher who wore head-to-toe black for years. It felt chic, she told me, until it started to feel invisible. She tried navy instead, just once, a deep, rich navy with pearl earrings. People kept saying, "You look refreshed, radiant, alive." She cried that night, not from vanity, but from being seen again. So if you've held on to black like a shield, maybe it's time to reach for something warmer. Try deep espresso brown. It's rich, grounding, and gives your skin a sun-kissed glow, or charcoal gray, which softens rather than swallows. Navy blue is a beautiful classic too, dignified, elegant, and deeply flattering. And if you must wear black, because, let's be honest, it still has its place, try it in a textured fabric. Lace, velvet, or silk can soften the look, or keep it away from your face. Black trousers, shoes, or a structured bag still say style without pulling the light from your features. The real beauty of aging is learning to edit gently, not throw away who we were, but choose what honors who we are now. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And color, like memory, is deeply personal, but it should never dim our light. Next, let's look at a color often associated with joy and youth, yet might be quietly washing you out when you need warmth the most. Color mistake number 3. Pale yellow versus mustard gold. Pale yellow is one of those colors that look so sweet on the hanger. Soft, light, and innocent, like a spring morning. For years we've believed it brings warmth and cheer. But here's what no one told us. After 60, that same pale yellow can actually drain the color right out of your face. I remember a dear friend, Nancy. She loved her lemon chiffon sweaters. "They make me feel delicate," she said, but every time she wore them, people asked, "Are you feeling all right today?" She thought it was her sleep, her health, but it was the color quietly working against her. Here's why pale yellow fails us as we age. It lacks depth and contrast. On skin that's lost some of its natural pigment, it flattens everything. Instead of brightening your complexion, it blends too softly, emphasizing sallowness, dullness, or even patchiness. Especially if your hair is silver or white, pale yellow offers no frame for your face. Everything starts to blur. But here's the hopeful turn. You don't need to give up yellow. You just need to meet it where you are now. Reach for mustard, a rich, earthy gold that brings your skin to life. Or try honey, saffron, amber, shades with warmth and grounding. These tones add light, not just brightness. They cradle your skin instead of competing with it. They say sunset rather than faded morning. Nancy eventually switched to a warm, golden cardigan. I'll never forget her face when her granddaughter looked up and said, "Grandma, you look like sunshine today." And that's the power of choosing with intention. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. The same goes for color. We're not letting go of soft pastels because we're too old. We're embracing tones that give back vibrancy, light, and presence. Next, let's look at a color that's long been seen as neutral and chic, but might just be making us quietly disappear. Color mistake number 4. Faded beige versus camel taupe. There's a color many of us have trusted for decades. It's familiar, soft, safe, beige. It lives quietly in our closets, sweaters, slacks, cardigans, and for years it's been our go-to because we were told it's classic, neutral, mature. It didn't draw attention, and maybe that's exactly what we wanted. But as we grow older, something strange starts to happen. One day, you look in the mirror and you can't quite explain it, but you feel like you're fading. That's exactly what happened to Maria, a dear friend of mine. At 74, she was radiant inside, but you wouldn't know it from her reflection. She wore beige religiously, pale beige blouses, oatmeal scarves, sand-toned pants. She said they felt chic and modest. But one afternoon during tea on her patio, she told me quietly, "I think I've become invisible." Here's why that happens. As we age, the natural warmth and contrast in our skin soften. Our hair shifts to silver or soft gray. The contours of our face become gentler. When we wear colors like faded beige, especially ones too close to our skin tone, it all starts to blur. Instead of bringing life to our features, it drains it away. Eyes lose sparkle. Skin appears ashy or sallow. Even posture seems smaller. Not because we've changed inside, but because the outside no longer reflects the light within. Beige is not the enemy, but faded, washed-out beige lacks the richness mature skin needs to shine. It blends too much. It dulls instead of defines. So what can we wear instead? Camel, taupe, warm sand, almond. These shades may seem like cousins to beige, but they do something remarkable. They give your skin a soft glow. Camel, with its golden undertone, brings back warmth to silver hair. Taupe adds just enough contrast to shape the face. Warm almond tones lift the complexion and pair beautifully with everything from navy to coral. These aren't loud colors. They're whispers with presence. Let's go back to Maria. She tried a camel-colored knit over her usual beige outfit. The difference? Immediate. Her daughter, who hadn't commented on her clothes in years, looked at her and said, "Mom, you look like you're glowing." That tiny shift, barely noticeable to anyone but her, was enough to bring back her confidence. And that's what the right color does. It doesn't change who we are. It reminds us who we've always been. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. Color is the same. It's not about rejecting everything you once loved. It's about choosing what still lifts you, reflects you, honors your beauty as it stands today. So if you've been leaning on faded beige out of habit or hesitation, try something warmer, just once, a camel scarf, a taupe blouse. See how your skin lights up. See how your eyes catch the sun again, because you deserve to be seen, fully, warmly, beautifully. Now, as we prepare to look at one final color misstep, we'll visit a shade that many of us associate with softness and femininity, but might be silently dulling the very radiance we've earned through time. Let's take a closer look. Color mistake number 5. Baby pink versus rose/coral. There's a certain tenderness in the color pink. Many of us have reached for it over the years when we wanted to feel soft, feminine, even a little romantic. And baby pink, that light powdery pastel, seemed like the sweetest version of all. But here's something I've learned, and it may surprise you. As we age, baby pink doesn't always return the kindness we show it. It happened to my friend Janet. She's 66, with soft gray hair and a gentle way about her. For years, she wore pale pink sweaters and blouses. It was her signature color, she said. But recently, she told me something that stopped me. Every time I wear it now, someone asks if I'm feeling okay. She wasn't sick. She was just dulled by a color that no longer served her. Here's the truth. Baby pink often lacks the depth and richness that mature skin needs. It's too close to the natural flush of our cheeks, too faint against graying hair. Instead of brightening the face, it can wash us out, make us look pale or even under the weather. And when our skin has lost some of its youthful contrast, wearing baby pink can blend everything together. Soft, yes, but forgettable. But that doesn't mean we have to give up pink. Because just a few steps deeper into the pink family live, rose, coral, dusty mauve, and raspberry. Tones that bring warmth and vibrancy without shouting. Rose pink has just enough softness to feel feminine, but enough depth to lift the face. Coral adds a golden undertone that makes skin glow. Dusty mauve is elegant and complex, like a sunset on quiet skin. These shades don't just sit on you, they wake you up from the inside out. When Janet swapped her baby pink for a coral-toned blouse, people didn't ask if she was tired. They asked if she'd been on vacation. Her silver hair looked brighter, her smile somehow wider. And she told me, I still feel like me, just the me I want the world to see, because that's the magic of the right color. It doesn't disguise you. It reveals you. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And sometimes, changing the color we wear isn't about fashion. It's about finally letting go of what we wore for others and choosing what gives back to us. So if you've been clinging to baby pink because it once felt gentle and safe, try reaching for something richer, not louder, just fuller. Try a rose scarf, a coral lipstick, a raspberry blouse. Stand in the light. You may find that what you thought was too bold is exactly what your spirit's been waiting for. And now that we've uncovered these 5 silent color culprits, it's time to pull it all together and give you the tools to find your perfect shades. Let's build a wardrobe that doesn't just fit your body, but fits the woman you've beautifully become. How to test color. See yourself again. There's something quietly powerful about holding a fabric up to your face and seeing your reflection shift. Not through makeup or lighting tricks, but through color alone. As we get older, we don't just dress to impress others. We dress to reconnect with the woman we still are. And sometimes, that reconnection begins with a simple test, done in the gentlest light of all, natural daylight. Here's how I like to do it, and how I often suggest to friends who feel unsure in front of their closet. Stand near a window with no makeup on. Pull your hair back. Then take 2 scarves or tops, one in a soft ivory, another in icy white. Hold each one up to your face, one at a time, and really look at what changes. Does your skin look fresh or faded? Do your eyes brighten or disappear? Do the lines on your face soften or deepen? The right color makes you feel seen, not covered up. You'll notice your lips look rosier, your eyes more alive. You might even find yourself smiling without realizing it. And remember, it's not about rules, it's about resonance, how a color makes you feel. When I helped my sister-in-law, Diane, test colors this way, she said something I'll never forget. It's like I saw myself clearly for the first time in years, not the tired version, but the one who still shines. That's what we're after, isn't it? Not to chase youth, but to honor the glow we still carry. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And color, when chosen with care, can give back more than we realize. Now that you know how to truly see what suits you, let's explore the beautiful spectrum that will suit you and how to start reshaping your wardrobe gently and joyfully. Mini story. I didn't change my face, just my color. Evelyn is 72. A retired nurse with a laugh that fills the room and a closet full of pastel pinks, pale blues, and beige she's worn for decades, because that's what always felt ladylike. But one afternoon, as we sat on her porch sipping tea, she looked at her reflection in the window and sighed, "I just look tired, like I'm slowly fading." It wasn't her spirit. That was still fierce. It was the colors. They weren't lifting her anymore. So we did something simple. We pulled out a rose-colored scarf, a soft coral blouse, and a mocha-toned shawl. I held them up to her one by one, and something shifted. Her eyes looked clearer, her cheeks warmer. That window reflection? It smiled back. She chuckled and said, "I didn't change my face. I just changed my color. And suddenly, I look like me again." Sometimes, it's not about reinventing ourselves. It's about realigning, letting go of shades that once served us, and choosing those that see us now. Because after 60, we deserve more than clothes that simply fit. We deserve colors that celebrate us. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And the right colors? They give back more than we know. Now let's wrap this up gently, with a few small steps you can take starting today to see that reflection smile back at you too. Style tip: easy swaps that work wonders. Let's be honest, at our age, no one wants a full wardrobe overhaul. We've earned the right to keep things simple, meaningful, and us. But sometimes, just the smallest changes bring the biggest spark. Instead of your old stark white blouse, try an ivory or pearl-toned one. It softens your skin, warms your eyes, and suddenly people ask, "Did you get a new haircut?" When really, it's just the color doing its magic. Still reaching for that black cardigan every time you head out? Try navy or deep espresso brown. It's just as elegant, but kinder to your complexion. One woman told me, "I swapped my black coat for deep plum, and I swear I look 5 years younger in every photo." Love pastels? Opt for rose instead of baby pink, or a warm sand instead of beige. These aren't sacrifices. They're upgrades. They respect the softness we've earned while keeping the glow we still carry. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And style is no different. Let go of what no longer serves you. Embrace what lights you up. Now, if you're wondering how to start, don't worry. I've got one simple challenge to help you step into this starting today. Color is confidence. At the end of the day, it's not just about fashion. It's about how you feel when you catch your reflection. And quietly smile. Because the right color doesn't just flatter your skin, it reflects who you are now. Wiser, softer, more radiant in ways no makeup could ever mimic. You didn't lose your glow. You just needed colors that let it show. We don't declutter to throw things away. We do it to keep only what gives back to our soul. And today, maybe, it's time to do the same with your wardrobe. If this video gave you one aha moment, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Which color swap will you try first? And if you haven't already, subscribe and share this with a friend who deserves to feel as lovely as she truly is. Your next chapter starts with one color. Choose it with love.